What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the biggest workout mistake that I would say all of us bros make. It's the important shit that we just suck at. We focus all of our attention on doing what it takes to lose fat and build muscle so we can look our best, while neglecting what is most important, which is taking care of our body so we can feel our best. We'll push through the aches, pains, and niggles for fear that we'll lose our gains or slow down the fat loss process if we change anything up with our programming, rather than correcting what is causing those aches and pains to begin with. I would love to hear from you if you can relate to this, if you're dealing with any kind of aches, pains, and niggles yourself, and how you're handling it personally. So please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share your experiences with us. You are certainly not alone. I always have at least one or two clients at a time who are dealing with some sort of ache and pain themselves. Oftentimes it's not caused from the workouts in general. It's usually something like they're sleeping in a weird position with their arm up above their head, so they're experiencing some shoulder pain or tightness or stiffness that causes them some pain and discomfort when they're doing maybe a dumbbell bench press or a dumbbell shoulder press. So we may need to swap out certain exercises, avoid certain exercises, but rather than just do that while the shoulder heals, we do stuff to correct the problem. We get to kind of the root cause of the problem. I mean, again, trying to do a smarter sleep position if that's what caused the pain to begin with, but we want to open up that shoulder capsule. So we may do some dead hangs. So I've shared a video on this on shoulder health in the past where you'll hang for 30 seconds, then rest for maybe 30 to 60 seconds, repeat that for a total of 10 to 15 minutes. So maybe 10 to 15 times that you're doing that, some dead hangs there for 30 seconds. After that, you're going to do some lightweight, we're talking like 1 or 2 pounds, maybe 3 pounds at the most, full range of motion, lateral raises, full range of motion, front raises, full range of motion, rear delt raises there. So we're talking like 30 to 45 repetitions with that really lightweight, just one set each of those. So that may help correct the shoulder issue while you're giving that shoulder a little break from some of the exercises that are causing it discomfort and pain. Other cases, we may view it as an opportunity. I always think that things happen for a reason there. You get some pain and discomfort in the shoulder. It kind of sucks in the moment thinking like, come on, this isn't an opportunity here. This really sucks. I wish I could do everything that I want to do. But for some of my clients, it's a great opportunity to focus on some specialized training for your legs. So we'll decrease the training volume for your upper body, and just so you have more resources for your body to give towards building your legs. So we'll increase the training volume, almost like overtrain the legs, but they can handle it because everything else is like a low training volume there, just kind of maintenance volume. So you have more resources that can be directed towards the recovery of your legs. So it's amazing how much volume you can handle in 1 or 2 muscle groups at a time when you're overtraining those muscle groups when everything else is being kind of undertrained there. So it's a great opportunity to try something different, to try something new. And again, for some people, for myself personally, dealing with some little aches and pains and niggles, it was an opportunity to think, all right, what can I embrace? Like, what's going to help this? Again, the dead hangs has been something that not only is great for my overall shoulder health to open up that shoulder capsule there and give me a better range of motion there, but it's, I forget where I was going with all of that. But other topics, the main thing I want to lead to is like yoga. I've been incorporating yoga into my overall lifestyle. It's been an eye-opening experience for me because that's exposed other kind of weaknesses, muscle imbalances, tightnesses that I wasn't aware of. One thing, I was doing some lateral raises a few weeks ago and just slightly bent over using a very kind of light, manageable weight, and I felt a little discomfort in my lower back. I think it's because I put my back into more of an arch when I was leaning forward to, which oftentimes it's a cue for even like Romanian deadlift, like a dumbbell or barbell Romanian deadlift, a little arch in the lower back. Even like pull downs, if you're doing pull downs there, you got a little arch in your lower back while you're pulling the weight down. And I think that has kind of led to some issues. But I think for us men in general, like an anterior pelvic tilt where we get that arch in our lower back, our butts are sticking back and our guts are kind of sticking forward here, that puts our lower back in a very weak position there. So I was thinking to myself, like, how, like, I've got it, why am I in this position? Why am I in anterior pelvic tilt naturally there? Why is my butt kind of sticking up and my gut kind of sticking out a bit there, and I'm causing that weakness in the lower back? What is going on there to cause that there? So one of the first things I did was the basics, the fundamental movements, such as a pelvic tilt or heel slide, which incorporates the beginning of the movement is get yourself into a pelvic tilt and slowly slide your heel along the floor. while pushing like your lower back flat down into the ground, maintaining that pelvic tilt there. And if you start to feel a little arch in the lower back, that's when you stop the movement. Ideally, you want to be able to slide that heel all the way out along the floor without arching your lower back, and then bring it back in, relax, get back into a pelvic tilt, repeat for the other leg. So really working on that, like that works some of the deep core muscles that support your spine there. So fantastic movement that I started working in there. Like also recognizing that, I mean, what muscles are tight? My hips are really tight. My glutes, I think, are tight. They're really stiff. Hips are tight, but I also think I'm weak in my like hip flexors there as well. So following some great exercises from Dr. John Russin. There's one where putting one leg up against the wall and the other leg is, so you're in a door frame basically, or up against a railing or something like that. And you let the one leg drop down. There's another one where you're using mini bands to kind of strengthen that hip flexor. Another one where you're putting your feet up against the wall. You'll lift your butt up off the ground, kind of a bridge pose there. There's some breathing exercises that go along with that. So really working with a lot of that. But again, coming back to yoga, where like doing pigeon pose, which has been super helpful for me, the frog pose, even like downward dog, child's pose, different poses that like really I think that's one of the biggest things that I find the instructors are correcting me on is like I kind of, whenever I'm trying to stretch my hamstrings are super tight. So instead of like bending forward, like keeping my back nice, my posture nice and straight, I end up kind of rounding. I have to round my back. So I'm like, again, focusing on like working on improving the areas that are causing the weaknesses, causing the stiffnesses there as well. And again, in fact, like one of the reasons why I'm so tight and stiff in my outer thigh, I tend to shift a lot of my weight towards the outer aspect of my foot. My inner thighs are super weak as well. So doing some of these single leg poses, you could also do like single leg Romanian deadlifts or anterior reach, and just trying to shift your weight, keeping it flat, keep the weight distributed evenly along from your feet, rather than having it on the outside of your feet. You can even kind of shift it a little bit more on the inside, but ideally you want to feel the pressure, apply the pressure across the whole bottom of your foot, like really be rooted into the ground. So I'm really engaging the inner thighs, which were weak, and the outer thighs were taking over a lot of the movement. So really, again, getting to the root cause, like what's the root cause of that lower back weakness that I was feeling there? Yeah, I know, I remember the time, it was from years of heavy deadlifting, really pushing myself to limits and trying to like overreach with some of that. That's always caused some discomfort in that lower back area. Going too heavy, even with a Romanian deadlift, which is, I think, more safe than the traditional deadlift off the ground there. Still, when I get too heavy, when I get up to like, say 285 pounds up towards 315 pounds with the Romanian deadlift, I can do that movement, but again, I feel a little internal pressure and some things going on that just I gotta need to be aware of. So I prefer, once I start getting up in that range, going lighter. But again, rather than avoiding going heavier, which I know I can do, I can handle, right? Let's correct the problem there so I can get back to that point where I can lift heavy again, rather than avoiding something that could possibly benefit me. Let's get to the root cause. Let's get to why I'm feeling so stiff and tight in the lower back area, the hamstring area, the hips area. Fix all of that so I can, again, lift heavy again. That's a big reason why I'm doing more yoga now than I am weight training, because I want to correct these issues, thinking of the big picture outlook here, so I can be in this game for the long term, so I can perform my best when I'm in the gym. So really doing all I can to correct this, to take care of my body so I can feel my best in all that I'm doing. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in pain or anything. I just recognize that right now I'm stiff. I don't have the mobility. Even my shoulders, like from doing the dead hangs, my shoulder mobility has improved, but it could be better. Again, in yoga, we're doing some poses where we're arms behind our back and then bending forward and trying to work on our shoulder mobility. But there's times where I realize even getting into a half wheel, like the shoulder strength is weaker in certain positions that I'm trying to, again, improve upon. So really doing a lot of working in corrective exercises while I'm still training my body in the gym, like pushing myself with the movements that feel great to my body at the same time. So again, we really suck at kind of pulling back in certain moments, doing what's truly in our best interest at this time. We'll just beat our heads against the wall because we think, all right, we got it. We got to keep grinding this out. We got to keep trying for a progressive overload. We got to do more reps. We got to do more load on the bar. We got to keep pushing ourselves if we expect to make those gains, and we've got to keep pushing ourselves in the gym as hard as possible if we want to experience the fat loss gains. But again, listen to your body. Do what's best for you. You can dial back on your training volume and do more corrective exercise that may not be intense as some of your gym training sessions, but it's going to be what's in your best interest in the long term. It's kind of pointless to be losing weight to just look your best, but you feel like crap at the same process. So really, really important for you to focus on what is in your best interest, not just in this moment, but thinking long term as well, thinking big picture, what's going to allow you to get most out of your training sessions and life in general. This is all about living your life to the fullest with confidence, pride, zest, and vitality. So I can't encourage you enough to, again, have an open mind when it comes to a heightened sense of awareness, I should say. Have a heightened sense of awareness with your body. Become very in tune with your body and any kind of the tightnesses that you have that you can. How can you improve upon that? What is the root cause of that problem, and how can you get to the bottom of it? How can you correct that problem while still focusing on building your body there? So I hope you enjoyed these insights from today. Again, keeping it real. We are all dealing with some sort of tightness, stiffnesses, aches, pains, niggles, especially like for myself with 34 years of lifting under my belt, 47 years young here. Like, it's all this weight training, sports, and everything has taken a toll on my body, and even just sleeping weird and having kids and holding them in awkward positions. It's different. Life has a way of taking a toll on our bodies. So, of course, we're all going to deal with some sort of niggles, aches, and pains here, but it's important to work around those niggles, aches, and pains in an intelligent way that will help correct it, hopefully, to begin with. Sometimes some of the injuries are a little bit more severe than others that require more of a professional help, whether it's a doctor or surgery if possible, if necessary, I should say. So there's different, of course, different extremes that come along with that. But hope you enjoyed today's insights. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your personal experiences, share any kind of aches, pains, niggles you're experiencing right now and how you are dealing with it. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.